You know, when a friend tells you a secret, repeating it should be easy, right? Just copy-paste.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Like your friend says, I am buying a coffee, and you just
Yeah.
parrot it back. But in English, reporting what someone else said actually forces you to warp reality just to tell the truth.
Right, because, well, you aren't a tape recorder. I mean, you're an interpreter.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we are looking at today. For those of you gearing up for your M.5 exams, we're doing a deep dive into the Unit 7 materials from the Get Involved textbook.
Which is appropriately titled Time Flies.
Yeah, we're figuring out how to, master reported speech, decode reported questions, and hit those exact rubric points to ace the test.
Okay, let's unpack this. Looking through these notes, the biggest realization for me is that reported speech isn't just some arbitrary list of grammar rules to memorize. It's actually a tool for distancing yourself from the original statement.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that when you push the tense one step back into the past, like changing simple present to simple past, or, changing will to would, you are signaling to the listener that you no longer take immediate ownership of those words.
Right.
So I can play becomes he said he could play.
So by shifting the tense backward, I'm basically putting up this linguistic shield. Like, hey, these aren't my words. This happened in the past.
Yeah, kind of like washing your hands of it.
Exactly. And it's not just the verbs, right? The sources highlight that time and place words have to shift too. So tomorrow becomes the following day. Here becomes there.
Because that original reality of the speaker is just gone. You are relocating the entire sentence in space and time. But to do that effectively, you need the right introduction.
See, this is where I'd normally just take the easy way out. On an exam, I'd probably just write he said or she said for every single sentence. I mean, it's safe.
Safe, sure, but it won't get you top marks.
Yeah.
Think of reporting verbs less as grammar tools and more like camera lenses.
Camera lenses.
Yeah. Using said is a flat, unedited photo. But if you use verbs like promise, invite, or deny, you apply a specific filter to the sentence. You capture the actual intent.
Oh, wow. Okay. But I can't just swap these lenses out randomly, can I? The notes warn about a major trap with tell and say.
Yes, this is a huge exam trap.
So if I want to use tell, I have to attach it to an object, right? Like he told us, not just he told.
Spot on. Tell requires an audience. Say doesn't. And the sources show specific reporting verbs demand strict structures.
Yeah.
You have verbs that require an infinitive, like offer to or promise to.
Right.
And others that need that clause, like complain that or deny that.
Okay, so we have our statements down. We're distancing ourselves. We're stepping back in time and using the right camera lenses. But it's one thing to report a fact that someone stated. What happens when you have to report their uncertainty?
Like a question.
Yeah. Like if someone asks me, are you ready? Do I just write, yes, are you ready?
You'd think so, but no. Think about what you just did right there. You asked me a question. To report a question, you actually have to kill the question entirely.
Wait, kill the question? What do you mean?
You drop the question mark entirely, and you drop the auxiliary verbs like do, does, or did.
Oh, because it's not a question anymore.
Exactly. The mechanism here is that it is no longer an active inquiry. You are making a definitive statement about a question that happened in the past. So the golden rule is the word order reverts to a normal statement subject comes before the verb.
Wow. Okay. So, are you ready? Becomes, he asked if I was ready. It just like flattens out into a statement. And I see we inserted if there because it's a yes or no question.
Precisely. For yes or no questions, you use if or whether. Now, if it's a way question like who, what, where, you just keep that original question word as the glue holding the sentence together.
Okay, so you, the listener, have a major exam coming up on this. And what this means is the graders aren't just looking for whether you can mechanically shift tenses backward. They want to see how well you can manipulate reality on the page.
Which ties directly into the bigger picture, the official evaluation rubrics. To hit that wide range of vocabulary requirement for an exceptional score, you must show the grader you can use those varied camera lenses.
Right, words like recommend or insist.
Exactly. Furthermore, structure matters just as much. If you're doing a written report, strictly organize your text. You need a clear intro, a main body, and a conclusion. Organization is just as heavily weighted as the grammar itself.
So mastering those tense shifts to create distance, applying the right reporting verb lenses, and avoiding that do or does question trap, that is your shortcut to a perfect score.
This raises an important question, though. If grammar forces us to structurally shift tenses, pronouns, and time words, just to repeat what someone else said, how much of the original speaker's raw emotion gets lost in the rigid mechanics of our reporting?
Ooh, it really does make you wonder. Maybe that linguistic tape recorder was never meant to be perfectly clean in the first place. Definitely something for you to think about while you study.